So all this being said, how does the oligopolist get ahead in the marketplace? They have to use non-price competition, things that draw folks to their products in ways that are not related to product pricing. Special services for customers. I had to take my car to the shop and I needed an extra set of wheels. I could either get a loaner car from one company, or if I went to another company, my insurance would pay for a rental car for me. If I go to the place that has the own car, but that makes me get my own rental, I could either go to Hertz or to Enterprise. Now, if I choose Enterprise, I can. No, wait, that's not right. If I choose Enterprise, they say they'll pick me up and drop me off when I'm done. If I go to Hertz, so long as I make a reservation for a certain family of cars, I get to choose whichever car I want. So, do I want a free ride or do I want to catch an Uber over to the rental car place to pick my own car? Advertising. Bringing awareness to your product is huge. Some methods of advertising are gimmick slogans or mascots. If the advertising works, demand grows and demand becomes more inelastic. One of the biggest things that sticks in the mind are advertising jingles.
Do love that jingle. Yeah. You think they worked hard on that song? What do you got so far, Bill? Hot Pocket. That's good. That's very good. Not as good as your By Menon, but it's good. Now, what are we going to run in Mexico? Caliente Pocket. You've got a gift, my friend.
Oligopolists also compete by rolling out new products or by selectively releasing products. We've got something that's new and improved. We've got a brand new, Doritos taco at Taco Bell. The McRib is back. Stuff like that. Special offers. Because I'm part of Search and Rescue, I get to apply for the North Face Professionals program and get up to a 40% discount on some of the items. There are stores that offer military and veteran discounts. There are some bonuses. If I use my Macy's American Express card, I can get anywhere from 1 to 5% back. If I get a Hawaiian Airlines card, I'll get 35,000 bonus miles, I'll get a complimentary checked bag, and I can take my sweet and beautiful wife to the islands for half off. And every time I use my Hawaiian Airlines card, I am going to be building more miles. There are reward programs. If I download the Menchie's app, I can get $5 and 2 times the smiles for the next 60 days. So I can get rewards for getting Menchie's frozen yogurt. There are also coupons. McDonald's has a huge kind of coupon where they have their Monopoly program. In an oligopoly, the demand curve is not a straight line. It's elastic for prices above equilibrium and inelastic for prices below. The concept of sticky prices is that because there's no motivation to move above the price for fear of lost sales and no desire to lower price for the lack of increased sales, the prices are stuck. Now, this is covered more in your book in the Chapter 6 appendix after the summary and questions page. I'm going to really suggest that you read that. In the face of price stickiness, how do prices keep rising? Well, there's the price leader. The price leader is the business that dominates the market. They're acknowledged to be the big dog, so they act, and everybody else has to follow along. There's also a concept called a cartel. Now, a cartel, don't think of the Cali cartel or the Sinaloa cartel. A cartel is when a group of firms combine to act like a monopoly. Oil producing and exporting countries and Major League Baseball are 2 of the biggest cartels there are. OPEC is an international organization. They all agree what they're going to set the prices at. So they are colluding to restrain trade, but because they're an international organization, they don't fall under American antitrust law. As far as Major League Baseball is concerned, there is a specific legal antitrust exemption for the national pastime. The teams and the owners group together to behave as if they were only one unit. Now, market concentration happens as a result of free market and competition. Through mergers and acquisitions, the number of large corporations increase while the number of smaller firms decreases. This can either be seen as the market at work promoting efficiency or as the decimation of the mom and pop business through large corporate greed. Which one is it? That's up for you to decide. Aggregate concentration is a measure of how much of an economy is dominated by a large firm. Market concentration focuses on specific market sectors, retail sales, food production, and concentration ratio is measured of sales by the market leaders compared to all the sales in the same market. This is what the government looks at in order to make sure that there is sufficient competition so that the consumer doesn't get hurt. The Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, or the HHI, this is an important concept in practice when dealing with mergers and acquisitions. This is the scale that the federal regulators use to determine whether a merger will have a potentially negative effect on the market. Will this merger lead to a greater market share, a concentration within one firm, potentially leading to a monopoly, or is there going to be enough free trade in other firms that the consumer isn't going to get hurt by it? You're going to want to know what this is, but don't worry about how to compute it. That's what I call ugly math. Now, once again, I'm exposing my inherent bias against math and tables filled with figures. I personally prefer visual representations in the form of charts and graphs, a snapshot of what the numbers are doing. The details, while they're important to have and good to delve into on a rainy day when the cable goes out, it only serves to confuse the things at this point. Now, while we're at it, there are concepts I want you to know and commit to knowledge, and then there's trivia. Now, I like trivia as much as the next person, but my use of trivia is not intended to confuse you. It's intended to show how we get to a certain point in our economic lives, like Captain Boycott and John D. Rockefeller. Now, I hope that when I tell you not to worry too much about a topic, that you will see this concept that you should be familiar with, but don't spend too much bandwidth on committing it fully to memory unless you're going to become an economist in the future. For instance, the math on how to find the HHI is something I am not going to ask you to do on a test. The math on how to determine whether a product has price elasticity, on the other hand, is something that I'll expect you to have a working knowledge about. And again, that's simple math. You need to know how to do that. The HHI, you really don't have to need to know that. Now, what I would like you to read is pages 171 to 174, The Causes of Market Concentration. And also read how to play the Nash equilibrium game, but know that I'm not going to test you on it right now.